like I do a record about every year, and I'm always writing about other people that have inspired me. And you know, when you move to Nashville to be a songwriter, I tell everybody, you got to kind of be crazy to do that, to move to Nashville to be a songwriter and artist. I didn't tell Payton that because I didn't want to freak him out. People older than him, I would tell that to. But
it's already affected me. I'm already going crazy.
But it really takes a lot of nerve, and most of us moved there with nothing. And like my favorite story is Dolly Parton moved there when she was 18, and the way she survived was by eating leftover room service in the hotels. She would go into the hotels and find food that people hadn't eaten. And that's a burning desire to want to be there. And so when I was writing this one album, and it was kind of about her and about this other guy we know, Even Stevens, who's played with us before, and I started thinking, well, who's really the songwriter that's everybody's songwriter? And to me, it ended up being Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan was a big influence on me with his lyrics and stuff like that. And then there was another guy by the name of Roger McGuinn who was in the Byrds, and he played a 12-string Rickenbacker. And I had never wanted to play guitar, and I heard him play that guitar, and I said, that's what I want to do. So 20 years later, Tom Petty comes along, and he's pretty much taken Bob Dylan and Roger McGuinn and squished them together and become Tom Petty. So I wrote this song about Dylan, and it's kind of an homage to all the songwriters, and I'm so honored to be able to play with these guys, and especially get Rivers down on his pay grade a little bit. But I enticed him with 3 days on the beach, and we've had 13 inches of rain in Nashville in February. It was 19 when we left, so she thought I couldn't get him, but this year the weather's so bad.
I'm in.
We're glad you're here. It's going to be awesome having you play tomorrow night. Oh, one more story about Rivers I got to say before he plays. I played with him when he maybe first came to town at the Bluebird Cafe. And he's from Memphis, but he really spent a lot of time in Mississippi, right? And there's this story that Robert Johnson, who's considered the most famous blues guitar player ever, was not very good, and he went down and sold his soul at the crossroads in Mississippi. So I play this show with Rivers, and I'm thinking, you know, he's pretty good. So 5 years later, I get to do another show with him, and I said, that son of a bitch went down and sold his soul at the crossroads. He just had been like, I don't know what you did, but you just morphed into this phenomenal talent.
Well, I was holding back. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to make us look bad, but you did the next time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, back to this. Well, looking back, it was the age of shattered innocence. Us kids thought the world still made perfect sense, with lies and propaganda filling up our heads. He came rolling out of Hibbing. We'd never seen the likes or the sound of him before. A child of Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, and a couple more. He was kicking down some walls, Lord, and opening some doors. When he hit New York City, and he sang the times they are changing, and man, he was right. They were blowing in the wind and itching for a fight. So we picked up protest signs and picked up our guitars, trying to say exactly what we're feeling in our hearts. He was the Pied Piper, we were his children. Yeah, following